And we welcome you in for this YHC Exclusive. We've got a special guest today for this program. We've got Jeff Williams. He is a local author here to talk about his newest released book that he has put together, and just also about his background and the inspiration for the book that he has out and available. We'll talk about where it's available and how to get your hands on one to read this really nice kind of a short story that Jeff Williams has put together. And here we are, Jeff Williams, along with us today for this exclusive. And Jeff, it's good to have you in with us.
Well, thanks, Tyler. Appreciate it.
Sure. And I know there might be some folks out there that are seeing you, and it's a familiar face. We've had you here on YHC before, especially some basketball games over the years, certainly over in the Sikeston area for those Sikeston Bulldog basketball broadcasts. But let's talk about you, your story, where you born and raised, and everything about you.
I'm from Sikeston. Wasn't born there, but lived there almost all my life. Worked in education. This will be my 30th year in education. So I was, my former life, I like to say, I was a teacher and a coach for about 10 years. And then for the last 20 years, I've been in administration. So okay. Getting close to retirement. Like I said, this is my 30th year, but as far as writing, I've been doing that for about 3 years. This story, the Kid from Eagle Ridge, is my sixth story that I've published.
Okay, so talk about this, the Kid from Eagle Ridge, and a short story and sports inspired. It's kind of a local, got a local flavor to it, and a really nice story about a kid, basically chasing an opportunity, and well, I won't get into the book. I'll let you kind of get into your own book and the story. So let's get into the book and just what it's all about.
Okay, well, the idea came about a few months ago, Tyler. With the way things have been the last few months and sports world being shut down, I was out riding my bike one day actually, and I was thinking about, man, I really miss sports and baseball especially. I'm a big baseball fan. So as I was riding my bike, I thought, since we don't have baseball going on, why don't I just come up with a story, create my own story? And what I've done in the past with other stories that I've written is I play what I call the what if game. So I came up with the what if statement. What if there was a young man from the middle of nowhere, Missouri, who was really good at baseball? So I just had that thought, and then with that statement, you just kind of ask yourself questions. Okay, where's this kid from? How is he so good at baseball? Who discovers him? What about his background? Who's his family? So that's how it came about, and that's kind of the inspiration behind it.
Sure. And basically, like you said, sports inspired the story, and also you've got kind of a family tie to baseball scout yourself that you kind of integrate a bit in this.
Exactly. My uncle, Gary Howard from Sikeston, was a longtime Major League Baseball scout. He scouted for the Minnesota Twins and the St. Louis Cardinals. And as a little squirt, I would follow him around, and he would go to watch certain players or go to tryout camps, host tryout camps. So I would tag along. And as I got older and became more and more interested in playing baseball, he was there to watch my games, and he and I would talk about what do scouts look for when they're evaluating a player. So I had the privilege, the opportunity to go and do a lot of that with him, especially after I graduated from high school, and follow him along. So when I came up with this idea for this story, he and I talked a lot. I asked him, "Hey, tell me again, what do scouts look for? I want to do my research behind this and make sure it's authentic and legitimate." So he would tell me things, tell me stories about players that he went and watched. He loves to share stories. He's got a lot of great stories. So we spent a lot of time together going back and forth. So I ended up dedicating the story to him.
Oh wow, that's really neat.
Yeah.
Certainly the experience of having a baseball scout, a major league scout, and your family being able to follow him around and follow all kinds of baseball, that's just got to be an unbelievable experience in itself. So being able to utilize that and and tie that in. That's certainly unique.
Definitely, and he was good friends with George Kissel, who was the minor league baseball guru for the Cardinals for like 50 years. So he and Mr. Kissel, he shares a lot of great stories about him. He's good friends with a lot of former Cardinals, Ken Reitz, Lou Brock, and a lot of those guys who, he mentions them by first name and talks about how they've done things over the year. And, you kind of sit back as a Cardinal fan, you think, wow, that's pretty cool. And I've actually been with him when he's kind of talked with these guys. I know one specific trip of several years ago, we went to Memphis and ran into Lee Smith, the former baseball player for the Cardinals, the closer, Hall of Fame closer. And just being in the background as my uncle and Lee Smith had this conversation, I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. Going into big league clubhouses, we've done that a few times, and just seeing what that's all about. So that's pretty cool.
Sure, yeah, and anytime sports is involved in youth, it just brings back the emotions and just everything great about youth and sports. And certainly this is what this book does, is kind of take you back to, as you read it, you can take yourself back to those moments in your youth playing sports, summer baseball, that sort of thing, and kind of just see yourself in that. And I'm sure that's where a lot of people will, take a look at this and take away that experience in their youth, and it'll bring it all back to them.
Exactly. And I've said this to a lot of people. This is a baseball story, and a lot of people love the game of baseball, and there's a lot of details and descriptions in the story itself, but it's not just about baseball. At the core of the story is the main character. His name is Luke Sawyer, and Luke his faith is at the core of the story, and his background and his strong work ethic. He's raised by his grandparents in the middle of nowhere, Missouri, on a farm in the Ozarks. So he's instilled in him at a very young age the value of work ethic and what it means to work for something, and he relies on that. And so a lot of the comments that I've gotten from people, I expected I really like this baseball scene or this part about, but I've gotten more comments from people about, I really like, Jeff, how you included his relationship with his grandpa, or how you value his faith in this certain scene. So that's what I tried to do, tried to balance baseball with those other things and tried to mesh it together.
Sure, and that could be, certainly experiences that, people certainly in this part of the country and this part of the state can relate to. So, and, that's why people should, take a look at this and basically bring the local feel into this story. You'll certainly get that, and I think that's what's great about the story, that people can take advantage of. And, talking about, the absence of sports that we've had, and there's been a void there. And you see the networks trying to fill that void, bringing all kinds of classic games in and bringing back the memories and everything like that. And I think this is a great opportunity to kind of have that pause.
Exactly.
As much as we want Cardinal baseball on, and the NBA playoffs and everything that's through the spring and into the summer, it's almost as if it's kind of nice to have this pause to reflect on what sports mean to us. And it's not just about our favorite team and rooting for our favorite team to win, and wins and losses, that sort of thing, but what sports can actually do for us, not only on the courts or on the fields and what shows on the scoreboards, but what they actually bring to our lives. And I think people are reflecting on that more and more as time goes on, what sports has done for us and what it continues to do for us.
Exactly, Tyler. I believe sports is a distraction for us, and it fills that void, like you said. It's entertainment, but it's more than that, and that's kind of almost the purpose behind this story. Is I wanted to fill a void that people are missing right now. It's about a 30-minute read for people, and I call it a shot of positivity. We need more of that in our world right now, because there's a lot of noise going on in our world. So that's what I wanted it to be about. Just someone could sit down and one quick read, like I said, 30 minutes, and just read it and say, man, I feel good about this. I feel good that it has this baseball element, but it's also a story that's positive and it has a lot of good things to it.
Sure. And kind of have the local feel to it that people can relate to. And, that's one thing about, this part of the country is, it's rural. So there's a lot of, community, community sports and participation and that sort of thing. And, that's what's great about our part of the country is that, our communities mean so much to us here locally, whether it's, local churches or schools or sports teams, whether they're school teams or summer teams or, anything like that, really magnifies, what we are as a community. So people need to check this book out, The Kid from Eagle Ridge.
Yeah, The Kid from Eagle Ridge.
Kid from Eagle Ridge.
When I came up with the title of the book, and that's one of the tough parts when you write these things, is coming up with character names and titles. I didn't want it to be about a specific place or a town, so I created this area. He's from the Ozarks, and he's the people just call this place Eagle Ridge because of the geographical area. So that's where I came up with the name, The Kid from Eagle Ridge.
Sure. It just seems like it's just down the road.
Yeah.
It really does. So, yeah, that'll be a great opportunity for people to spend some time. It's a short story. You don't have to commit a whole lot of time to it. You commit maybe an afternoon to it and come away with a great story and a great experience and that Jeff's put together. And be sure to check that out. And let's tell everyone where they're able to get their hands on it.
Sure. There's a couple different ways. You can go on Amazon. If you are an ebook reader, you can check it out on Kindle and read it that way. Or you can go to my Facebook page, Jeff Williams on Facebook. Just look me up. Or my Twitter page has it also, 8, the number 8, J Williams. You go on there. There's a link to the story. And then if those things don't work for you, you can always email me, and I will email you a copy. It's a free read. I just want people to take a look at it. If you do, and check it out, just send me a message. Let me know that you read through it, and hopefully you liked it and enjoyed it, and it was something that you can take with you.
Sure. Yeah, it'll be a great opportunity. Just check it out on Amazon. Go to Jeff Williams' social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, and we've got it here available for you to check out where you can get your hands on it. And, a great opportunity at this time if you're a sports fan. We've got a little baseball around the corner, it looks like. The way it looks right now, maybe in late July. It'll
Cross your
finally
fingers.
Yeah. So, good opportunity here to get your hands on this. The Kid from Eagle Ridge. Check it out. Get yourself in the mood for baseball kicking up next month, and it'll be worth your time, I assure you. So, Jeff, we appreciate you spending some time with us, talking about the book, and kind of getting into the baseball season now, finally, as it looks. But appreciate you spending some time with us as you release this short story. And now that you've kind of got into your sixth book or story now,
Number 6.
Right?
Yeah, this is number 6. First one that I've done along the lines for sports. I don't know why I waited so long to do a sports story, but
pretty timely though.
Yeah. It takes some time. Somebody else asked that recently. They said, "How long did it take you to write this?" Well, this one came pretty quick, about 3 or 4 weeks for the rough draft. But sometimes some other stuff has taken as much as a year. So anyway,
all right, check it out. The Kid from Eagle Ridge. I have that right?
That's right.
Kid from Eagle Ridge. Check it out. All the places to get that, Amazon, Kindle, and even through Jeff Williams' social media pages. And we'll look forward to seeing what you think of The Kid from Eagle Ridge. And Jeff, again, we appreciate you spending some time with us, and we'll see you down the road. And I know if y'all recall, Jeff's been with us on some broadcasts. Sikeston went through their heyday a number of years back, going to the state Final Four and competing at a high level, and we had Jeff on for quite a few of those broadcasts over a number of years, and a lot of fun back then, wasn't it?
Hopefully we can do some more.
Yeah, I bet. But, Sikeston's always there in the mix, so you never know what will play out in the future. But, it's good to, hopefully we'll have a sports season that we can count on this year, but we know.
Hope so.
Yeah, it's fingers crossed. But
right.
For all the kids out there, miss the spring season,
yeah.
Certainly don't want to be missing any more, especially for the upperclassmen coming into their last year or two into their playing careers in high school. So hope for the best for sure.
That's right.
And again, Jeff, appreciate your time and good
Thank
luck
you,
with
Tyler.
good luck with the story going forward.
It was fun to do, and I look forward to sharing it with everybody that can take a look at it. So
Sure.
thanks again, Tyler. I
All right.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.